Right, let's get cracking. It's Blair Denwood here, podcast group Kirkcaldy, and we're missing a number of people today, but we'll go through Pat Scrimgeour, Marjorie, can't mind her second name, who else, guys? Karen, who's missing?
Alan.
Alan's here.
Oh, sorry.
Listen,
sorry. I wasn't listening. There you go.
Karen's not here.
No, I said Karen. Caroline. Pat, I said, yeah. Douglas is away in South Africa, which Karen said, could he send back photographs of elephants? But he's not going to see elephants in Cape Town, so. But he's having a cracking time anyway. Anyway, right, today's topic is childhood memories, but the last meeting we decided to bring in something from our childhood that we could talk a wee bit about, and some have and some haven't. So punishment exercises all round. You know who you are. Wait behind at 4 o'clock. Anyway, right, who's going to kick us off?
I've got a couple of childhood memories. The only ones I've got left are no museum pieces. But an Enid Blyton book, anybody remember Enid Blyton?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Which one?
Adventure stories. It's just
Right,
two stories packed into one
right.
in the book.
So was
Basically.
that, Alan, was that something that was read to you as a child?
No, actually, myself, I was 7 by that time, so
Right, right.
yeah.
But
Maybe one or two of the earlier ones I was read, but that's the first one I remember getting.
Right,
That I
right.
could read myself. Christmas 1962.
That's really nice.
Enid Blyton was a very famous
Yeah.
writer when we were kids.
Yep.
That, and who was the other one that wrote about the famous five?
Isn't it the Brontes?
No,
Mm.
no. Do you remember, Linda? No. No, my memory's no great either. Never mind.
I remember the famous five, but I can't
Aye.
remember the.
Who was it?
No. I didn't have any books anyway, so.
No, I can't remember very much about reading at all. I remember my grandmother on mum's side, she used to read stories to us as when we were kids. And I used to love just sitting there listening to her. But she was a very canny woman, but she was awfully good with kids. You know, she loved kids. What memories do you have, Linda, grandma?
I remember her being in the kitchen all the time cooking
Aye,
and always had an apron on.
Aye.
But yeah, she used to read to us.
I think it was a time when, I think particularly from myself, thinking about my own childhood, what I've brought in today, this is something that was sent, or it was given to me, I think it must have been on my dad's first visit home, following his escapades in the war, when he brought this little guitar.
Oh,
Now that has been with me now 81 years, and I still can't play it. But it's paper, and I think it's cotton wool that it's filled with, or something very like that, and it's just string on the front, but it's got all the etchings suggesting a Spanish guitar, but that was from a period of time that he spent in Holland, and it was a family that he stayed with while he was in the forces, and I can't even remember their name, but Linda might. Do you remember their name at all?
oh dear, oh. It'll come to me, don't
Aye, but it was a family that he stayed with, and I think he was encouraged to buy this when I was born, to bring it home as a memento for me that I would have. And it's, as I say, it stayed with me all of that time, or stayed with my dad, because there was a period of time when I left home that I didn't take it with me, but it was always kept in the family home. And when my mum and dad passed away, I got it back, and it was just like, I could
That's
remember it hanging there in my bedroom that Linda and I shared in the attic rooms in Commercial Street.
Right.
And I had it hanging on the wall just above my bed. But it was the only thing other than our beds. It was in that bedroom. But it just has that vivid memory of, that brings back Commercial Street
That's
like it was
lovely.
yesterday.
Mhm.
Some surprisingly good nick for the age.
It is.
81.
Aye.
Yeah.
So am I.
As you always talk about.
Very good. No, that is the item that I brought in, apart from the memory that goes with it.
There was also a poem that Grandad wrote
That's right.
to Dad and sent to
That's
him
right.
because he was away when you were born.
Uh-huh.
And I had a copy of that.
You have a copy. You
I have.
it. You
No,
have.
I have got a copy.
Aye.
I have given you a copy.
I think you
So,
have. Yes, but I had.
But it's a lovely poem that
Isn't
made
it?
up and
That's
sent.
right. It was just, the story was very much about what my granddad had written to my dad about the birth and how at this time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just so nice. But it's like everything, you know, just the vivid memories. The memories come back just rolling off when you talk about these things. But we've got one or two other things, but we'll go on to the next person who might have something. Susan, doesn't have anything? No?
Well, the only thing I do have, and it was a bit big to bring, because I'm going down the town, it was that I can think of. It's a doll, it's a baby doll. You know the famous one, Rosebud, is it?
Rosebud?
I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
But it's you turn the key on the back, and it's a right baby porcelain doll, and you turn the key on the back, and it plays a tune. I've never ever seen anything like that
No,
again.
no.
No. But one of her eyes is stuck once, like that,
Oh dear.
and her arms. I could maybe take that to the men's shed, and they might be able to do something.
I would rather take it to somewhere like
Yeah.
the Dolls Hospital or something.
Where is that?
I think there's one in
One in
Edinburgh.
Oh.
Edinburgh.
Because
Yeah.
it is. I mean, I must have got that. I always wanted a bride. I actually got it from my uncle,
Uh-huh.
my mum's brother. I was the only grandchild at that time, and I got that, and I was disappointed because I never got the bride's doll. So next Christmas I got the bride's doll, and my dog Molly, she chewed a hand off it
Oh,
after waiting
dear.
all these years. So I didn't. That's all I have from
From
memory.
that time.
From time.
It is one of the most important things when it comes to getting older. You know, your memories become something that are so valuable because it's only you that has that memory
Mm-hmm.
and of that time. And parents that are no longer there or grandparents that are no longer there, it's all you've got left because the majority of things were cast away.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have lots of things. And that's kind of like the guitar. It's the only thing that I've got in
Yeah.
physical form that I could bring with me, apart from the memories. And Linda's brought in photographs which I can talk to, which I'll pass around. Because again, times in my time that were important to me. But I'm going to let Linda talk first because she's brought in one or two things.
I've just brought in my ID card, which all children got when they were born at that time. And I don't know, mine was stamped a couple of times, but that's about it.
When did people used to get ID cards?
Yeah, I've got one.
When did it?
Yeah.
I've got
How
one
did
of
that?
them.
Well,
You
because
got
I
them
wasn't
when you were
born
born.
here.
Yeah. They went on into the 50s.
Was what?
It was into the 50s, I think.
Right?
Yeah, it must have been because I've got one. I was 56. I was
That's
born.
right,
so.
yeah,
Yeah.
aye.
Mm.
But everybody got one.
Everybody got one.
I've
What was
never
the-
ever had
just
one.
let me see, Linda.
Yeah.
I've not seen mine.
Yeah.
Did you
Mm.
get one as well?
I may have, but it's not in the house. I
Oh,
may
I've
have,
got
I'm
one.
born in 1955, so I probably.
So when did they stop doing these
I've
things.
no idea when they stopped. I just know that when I was born, they were still on the go.
There was talk about bringing them back
Hadn't
again, but I just
Have
think
you
they
got?
blown out
No,
by
you
the
don't
government.
know. One of them.
The information that's on here, just a matter of interest, there's a number which was your personal number, and then her date of birth, which I won't tell you, because she'll hit me. Her full name is there, but the main name was Denwit, Helen S, and 105 Commercial Street, Kirkcaldy. And again the date, but the birth date,
Mm-hmm.
which is, and then there was a stamp, an official stamp that was put on, and I had, you know, that followed the child right through
Mm-hmm.
primary school and everything.
Yeah, I've got the identity card, but at the same time, when my mum gave me them, I got the medical one as well.
Right, yeah,
Again, for
yeah.
this is you sort of thing.
For all your vaccinations and things
Oh,
yeah.
on that.
Do you remember getting your vaccination?
Yes, I have a story about my vaccinations.
Come on
Oh,
then.
good.
The polio jag,
Oh dear.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
aye.
and it's actually the surgery you were in Kirkcaldy. It was in Dyser,
Right,
Right.
yeah.
and it was old Dr. Girvin. And I can remember going with my mum to get the polio jab. Oh, it wasn't in the army at that time, it was,
Aye.
and I can remember getting chased through the surgery with a syringe.
With your trousers down.
Aye, I did. I must have been, well, probably preschool,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
four or 4-year-old or something. Walked up with duff coat and
Quite strange.
I think they pinned me in a corner and done it anyway.
Strange. Sorry, Alan.
They
Go
were
on.
frightening in these days, the jags still, because there weren't the tiny little things that you get now.
Ah.
It was like a knitting needle with a plunger.
Aye. And just wash it out and the next thing I'll get it. Aye.
Exactly.
I remember my dad, you know, when he was going to the doctor or anything like that, or if we were going to the doctor, now mind if they say injection, didn't bend down to pick up the money that he's dropped in the flare.
Aye.
But aye, that was a different story, and it wasn't about childhood. But the story similar to that was I stayed in Kirkcaldy for a period of time, and down at the bottom of the road that we stayed in, there was a couple had 2 huge German shepherds, and you always heard them at the back, always in the back garden, but they were always kept locked up, supposedly. But it was one morning I was going out to work, and I had to go along to Fruchy to get my lift, and I was walking down, and I just heard dogs, and I thought, oh, and I got out of the gate, and they came at me, and one circled me, while the other one basically bit into my buttocks,
Alright.
and it was the nurse. She stayed no far from us in Kirkcaldy, and when I went for my injection, it was her. And I used to see her regular, because the surgery was just round the corner, and I used to see her regular, and the actual feeling of having to drop my trousers to get this tetanus injection
In front of your neighbour.
in front of a neighbour, and it was like,
You saw it
for
every
goodness sake. I don't know, inhibitions, I'm going to say exhibitions.
Well, maybe a bit of both.
Anyway, right, photographs. Who else has got photographs? Nobody?
Just Alan with that.
No.
With the rovers one. No.
Right. The first one I'll pass round, you'll see me on the left, but this was, we were part of a youth fellowship, which was in Pathhead Parish Church, and it's with a guy, the minister there at that time was a German chap called Bernard Citron. It was a lovely man, but he used to put on a kind of a Christmas festival type thing, but this was a play, and it was around about the nativity, but he brought in different characters. So I was playing the part of, it was supposed to be an American tourist, and that was quite good for me because it was just a sports jacket and flannels, and I had a stick at that time.
No, it's changed then.
No, it's changed. I'll pass it around. There might be somebody that you recognise.
Are you in on that one?
Yes.
Blair's on that.
Yep. Can you not see me?
Are you at the very back?
Nope. I'm right about the middle.
Up
In the middle?
towards the left.
Hmm?
Towards the left-hand side.
This
Can you
side?
pick the week yet?
No.
No, it's
Not
right.
right at
This
the
side.
left. Yeah, he's closer to the left than the
Oh, just with the stick, aye,
That's
right,
him,
aye,
that's
aye,
him, yeah.
aye, right,
Right
aye,
away.
right,
and
aye,
his
aye.
camera.
I was looking more in the middle. there.
The hair is a bit different colour then as well.
Mhm.
You're joking.
That,
That must be a bad photograph.
Ah, must be.
Right on the left, standing down the front.
And I'm right at the front.
oh
And
yeah.
Aye, Linda is sitting at the front,
Yeah.
but you'll see her sitting there. Who were you? What were you?
We were
Oh.
just public.
Public
And
passers by.
Lynn was in the photograph as
That's
well.
right.
Can you see him?
And Ronnie. And who else? Bill McCarthy.
Bill McCarthy.
That him? No.
No,
I've not heard that termination for a while, Blair. Sports jacket and flannel.
I know. Aye. Aye. That was all the thing.
That was it, aye.
Ah.
Sport jacket, flannels.
Mm-hmm.
And you either wore your sports jacket,
I don't
flannels, or
Yeah,
wore a
I
suit.
do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You went out to
Actually, do you know who he is?
Don't know.
Oh,
Well,
Now
look.
they go about in trainers and t-shirts.
That's quite a difficult one to find that actually, but
What?
that one.
Right there?
No,
No.
no,
Should have circled you.
you should have.
Big yellow mark.
Oh. They'll still be sitting trying to figure where it is. This one was, I think it was the first Boys Brigade camp that I went to in Arbroath. It was either Arbroath or Galashiels. I can't remember which. But this was the number 12 platoon of, that was Temple Hall at that time. But we met in the Saltonbush Cleash Gardens Hall.
Yeah.
But this was the camp that we went to as our first camp, and that we were 12 years old. Now, I'm sitting there in the front, but there might be others that you recognise, because I can still remember some of their names.
Was that when you were in Cheviot Road?
Cheviot Road, yeah.
No, can't pick you. A
No,
couple of wee clues, but
You're in the front, you said.
in the front, yeah.
Did you have the uniform? There's one.
I did
One.
have the uniform
You did have
on,
the
yeah.
uniform on.
Aye.
that cuts it down to two.
Singing for the right.
It could well be.
That one.
Yep, that's me.
Mhm.
And that would be, I would think that must have been taken, more than likely, as we were going out, because when we were going out of the campsite at all, we had to wear our uniform. And we wore our uniform for parade in camp. But then when we were going outside camp, we always had to wear uniform. And at that time, there must have been, what, 60 or 70 boys in total in the number 12 platoon. That was in the platoon. There was 450 went to camp. So that camp, the campsite, was a huge field, and there were tents round the outside, the periphery, and that was the officers' tents. We were all in the centre, and we were all in their platoons, so you had how many boys were there, but the tents slept 8. So I remember we used to have to take about 4 or 5 tents for the number of boys that were in. So it was quite a sight and quite an experience to be part of.
Was it
Because-
near the beach?
No,
No.
not. No,
That's
it was usually away out in a field somewhere where there had been cows or something.
Just not good with that.
Yeah.
So where
Yeah.
did you go when you weren't doing whatever you did as a group? Were you allowed to go out?
Yes,
The camp.
we had, the afternoons were usually set aside for anybody that wanted to go into town, into wherever we were staying. And then you could get a pass if you wanted to go somewhere that was going to be in the evening. but you had to be back in camp by 10 o'clock, or you weren't allowed out very late, because obviously some of us were only 12 years old and went up to 18.
Oh.
And a lot of the lads that were 18 used to go out and they would be taking a drink, and they weren't allowed to do that either, but they did it.
Well, talking about the BB,
Alan,
we were
yes.
platoon number 9. It started off with Sayfield, but amalgamated with Turbane,
Right.
and we operated from Turbane Church, Temple Hall.
Mm-hmm.
But Turbane and Temple Hall were like big rivals in the football park. It was quite feisty.
The youngest there would be 12, and that would be in 1956.
Aye.
Mm.
See, I was 12 in 67, so.
Oh, you're just a mere child.
Aye.
This one, you'll never be able to recognise me in this one. Let's see if you can tell. Because Linda's on that one as well.
Oh, aye.
That was always
There's two females and a male.
What is that?
It was a Christmas party in the YW, which was the girls' club,
Oh, yeah.
or as now is King's Theatre.
Yeah.
And that was fancy dress.
Obviously,
Aye,
we don't
aye,
usually
we
go
don't
like
usually
this,
go
like
like that. Clothes and baggy pants. And, that was Lynn, my cousin, who's now deceased. Lynn Baldy was her maiden name. But they stayed in Factory Road.
Right.
The period of time that I stayed, well, I was born in Factory Road, in what we termed the bed recess.
In the living room.
Is that the houses that's still there on the left as you go down Foxfield?
You know, they're on the
On
right,
the right.
right at the bottom, on Commercial Street, houses on.
Oh,
actually,
through the lights and further
Yes.
near Commercial Street, yeah.
you had, what then are your memories of the boys' brigade, Alan? Just to,
Summer, we used to have weekend camps,
Is that the
like at Eastern, Knesswood,
Knesswood.
but they were in the tents, or huts, I don't know.
that's
Aye.
right,
Mhm.
we had huts.
And they cooked breakfast, and then some of the staff sergeants, if you like,
Aye.
they were maybe about 17, 18, 19s, because they were like beyond their age.
Aye.
They went away to get chips at the nearest,
Chipper.
aye, Wickenross, that's
Aye.
right.
Aye.
And used to come back smelling a drink.
Aye.
Like about 2.5 hours later, they were
There's a chips called.
lukewarm. The lukewarm, but they weren't.
Aye.
The
These-
alcohol in the vinegar.
Yeah.
These huts, though, there were three huts, and 2 were for sleeping, and the other one was the cuckoos.
Mm.
And the officers, they used to, one of the officers in our company, our platoon, they used to tell these ghost stories.
Alright.
And of course, it was in it was on a farm, so it was at the back of an old church, an old disused church, and the hens used to run about the church, and folk used to go and pick the eggs, rotten eggs, and they would be throwing them around. But this officer used to tell these ghost stories. But I'll tell you, in a field with a church and just the cook house, and you've only got candles for light, it was guys spooky. And they used to, the other officer would go out and they would take the shutters that used to fold down for the food getting served up, used to go out and rattle the shutters just at the crucial point, and by Jove, I'll tell you, the latrines weren't quick enough. But the latrines had to be dug and filled in before. When you think about it now, it's minging. It was minging. Minging. Anyway,
But
enough.
good memories of going up there,
Oh,
Blair, because do you remember the name of the hill?
Bishop,
Bishop, right?
Yeah,
And
Bishop.
the name of the swimming area?
we never had so many.
Oh, there was a wee ravine with a wee
Aye.
man-made lake.
Right.
John Knox's pulpit.
Oh, aye.
Aye, that's what they called that.
Been up there often.
It's Aye, Bishop Hill though, one of the guys had, we all went, we all decided we were going to climb it, and that was on the first morning. Everybody's going to climb this, apart from the officers, and this one lad went up before anybody else, and somebody says, where's so-and-so, where's so-and-so? And somebody pointed up, and he was sitting up on the rocks, which was the out of bounds area.
Right.
He was sitting up high of rocks, and he was throwing boulders down, and the sheep were below, and the things were rolling down and bouncing all out, and the sheep were running everywhere. I'll tell you, that lad, he got sent home, and he got sent home double quick, because he could have killed he could have killed himself, but the people coming up behind him, absolutely shocking.
That was Temple Hall platoon,
Temple Hall.
No surprisingly.
No, none at all, Alan. I'll see you after.
They weren't angels in Tumbane either.
Oh no, oh no.
John Knox's pulpit, I don't know if you can get up now, but there was a time
Yeah.
when you weren't able to get up because it was insecure.
Mm.
Aye,
It's
Yeah.
dangerous.
very dangerous.
We went up.
We didn't think of that, and
No.
we got swim. It was only once it was hot enough to swim.
Right.
Most of the time it was either rain or windy, when but even in the summer. But
So you up at the waterfall.
yeah,
But aye, some great weekends spent up there.
oh, aye.
Lovely. But it's that, I don't know, but comparing that to today and looking at what kids do, a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, you're not aware of anything like that going on. You know, even with the organisations like the Scouts and the Boys Brigade, and there are very few part of doing anything like that now.
No, I don't think there's any organisations
No.
as such
No.
similar.
I can remember being at a summer camp once, and I can't remember if it was through the school or whatever, but we ended up at St Mary's Loch.
Right,
That was-
right.
that was
Aye,
good.
good.
Where is that?
Near Lanark,
Oh, right.
and it was the army.
Yeah, yeah.
It was soldiers that were running it, and you did your 20-mile hike and whatnot. It was
Brilliant.
good.
The air cadets are still very active.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they still do an awful lot.
I don't know if the army cadets down here are still.
They're still active, but I don't think there's
Yeah.
very many of them there.
No.
Actually.
They don't seem to do as much as
Mhm.
the air cadets
They're
do.
cadets.
Do you still have a hut in Temple Hall where cadets used to?
Yes, they do.
Is it still there?
opposite,
Kinetic, is it? No.
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 It's off Cheviot Road.
Cheviot Road, aye.
It's opposite
Yeah,
Valley,
right.
Valley Primary School. There's
At the back entrance, that's right.
Is that still there, that shed, that hut?
There's a new one.
That was the.
Oh,
There's a new one.
I went to the ATC,
Did
the
you?
women's thing, for a wee
The
while.
Scouts used that for a while as well.
Mm.
Eddie went to the ATC.
Aye. That was the woods.
Hmm?
The woods on Valley Gardens,
Yeah.
just side of Valley View, Valley Primary. There was a strip of woods went up from Valley
Up to
Gardens.
Camp to Crescent.
Up to
Yeah.
Camps
That
of
way,
Gardens,
wasn't
right,
it?
That's
Yeah.
right.
I went to Mago, to the camp school.
Yeah.
You go, that's
Aye, that's
near Gowrie,
Aylwith.
Aye.
And it had been, it's still on the go. That it's still used as a camp. It was the shed, the big sheds. It was, I think it was an air camp, airmen's camp during the wars. But they still use it for that. I used to go in the afternoon to the big centre, where everybody congregated in
Yeah.
rows, and the kookaburra sits in the old oak tree, and
Aye.
that's the only thing I can remember. But
Aye.
uh,
Lovely.
but the thing is, we went for 4 weeks. I mean, that was just before we left to go up to Temple Hall,
Right.
and 4 weeks. So, you know that? Oh, I didn't. I hated it. I hated it for 2 weeks, and I kept writing every day to him. I want to come home. It was like that American song, "Mother,
Aye.
Father, here I am
Hello,
again."
mother, hello, father.
And so Mum and
Can't
Dad,
do
Gran
that.
came up at the end of the 2 weeks. I was loving it. No, I wasn't going home.
No.
It took me 2
Oh,
weeks
no.
to settle down into it. It was good. But the first thing I did when I went there, I fell off the bunk bed.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dear me.
Mhm.
Now that was another wee story I had. Just you talking about the camp. I can't remember whether it was again Arbroath or Galashiels, but they had a shower, they concocted the shower area that was just basically a canvas, and you had a pipe that was taken from the water tap, the main water tap, and it ran down, and then you had the shower head, which was hung up the top, so anybody could get a shower. And it was Visitors' Day. They used to have Visitors' Day on a Tuesday, and one of the officers and one of the other platoons had decided that he was going to take a shower. So he had gone away, taken a shower, he had thrown his clothes on top of the canopy, and somebody during the time that he was in the shower decided to take his clothes and his towel. So he had to, while the visitors were around, he had to run for the air to get back to his tent. So it was a bit of a run for him. That wasn't me. Anyway, any other stories that you're bringing with you, Archie?
Well, me, the only one that was my childhood thing with skating and ice hockey. I mean, I followed it right up into the 80s,
Yeah.
ice hockey. Ice rinks to Southampton, to Aviemore.
So do you remember your first experience on the ice?
Yes. I was about 4 and I got my pair of skates, and I can still remember the number of the higher skates. It was pair number 80. And I was on the ice, and my cousin, Ian Shields, he played ice hockey.
Right.
And he saw me, he was skating as well, and he saw me and he grabbed me with the hand and he pulled me around that bloody ice rink.
Aye, very good.
A hell of a rate of knots.
You learn the hard way.
Aye, aye. And then with that thing, I was just sort of heading on to the barrier, walking around, and now he just dumped me in the middle. That was it. Get
And
back
Mum-
yourself.
My mum used to always talk about me learning to skate. I could skate backwards before I could skate forwards. I think it was just the rate of knots when I was falling,
Aye.
going back that way.
When you talk about the ice rink, Archie, it wasn't just like you went up to skate. A lot of folk met their wives and everything up there.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I can.
Aye.
I did that. Aye.
But
That was
the bands that used to come to the rink,
Aye.
and
even
all
the
that.
50s.
Aye.
The wrestling.
The wrestling, aye. Mick McManus, Jackie Powell.
Aye.
Aye.
Then we had other ones that people just didn't remember. It was the ice scrambling motorbikes.
Aye.
They had that as well.
Aye.
What a mess they made of the ice
The
rink.
ice.
And then all the dog shows were there.
Where was that?
Nice rink.
Nice
Up
one.
there?
Yeah.
Aye.
Did you ever play for the Flyers or
No,
anything?
no. I just knocked about as a youngster. Then I was started working on a Saturday where you can't work and play. And you can't be two places at once. Yeah, so.
So,
Also bands played there as well.
yeah. Some big
I remember
bands.
seeing Thin Lizzy playing there.
Yeah.
About 30 or 40 years ago.
Joe Loss, he
Aye.
played there.
Mum and Dad saw them a
Aye.
couple of times.
Some big bands. But that again comes back to what we talked about when we were talking about the music, thinking about Kirkcaldy at that time, around about the 40s and 50s. You couldn't beat Kirkcaldy for their music, their live music, their dancing, you know, the entertainment for youngsters. It was just it was a brilliant place to stay, and it was a brilliant time, because although, as Alan was saying, there was the vying that went on between neighbourhoods, but it was never anything that was dangerous stuff. You know, it was talked about as being kind of all going about with chains out there. But
It was
no,
clean fun.
it was clean fun. It was toilet chains. Was the big chains.
Then you're talking about dance and everything. Where can you actually go in Kirkcaldy now to dance? There's no clubs or anything
No,
left.
no,
Even
no,
it's
No, nothing.
just the workmen's clubs, the servicemen's clubs,
Yeah.
just not there.
The Pussy Club,
No.
but I don't know what happened to that. They had a big meeting recently
Yeah,
Oh, was that the
to
meeting?
see if it was going
Yep.
to be closed. Were you?
Yeah.
How did it go?
I was at the first meeting. I wasn't at the board meeting where they were going to decide if they were going to use any of the ideas at the first meeting to
Yes.
keep it going.
Keep it
So I don't know what the outcome is of the board meeting, which was
Yeah.
on the 8th of March. I've not been back in again.
No,
But
no.
I'll be sad if that closed. That's all one left.
Shame.
I've only been once, and it was a Sunday afternoon, and it was brilliant. But nothing is advertised.
No,
That's just rules.
Mm.
not use Facebook or anything like that for advertising. It's
No.
kind of archaic.
Sure.
It's-
That is the problem with a lot of the older, like old villages and old clubs, as you're talking about. I know that when we were talking about West Weems there a few weeks ago, where I stayed, no longer, but it was almost as if they didn't want anybody else there. It was like they believed that the toll was the right thing, that kept folk on the outside having to pay to come in. And if anybody had any ideas about what they could do, oh no, that'll no work, no, that'll no work. And it was just, this, you couldn't get them to think beyond
No.
what had been
Yeah,
there.
they wouldn't move with the times.
No.
There been how many pubs were in West Weems at one time?
Oh, there were 4 or 5.
Plus a club.
Aye,
Aye.
aye, the big club.
Aye.
I was in that club one time.
Were you?
If unless it was, is it still there? Is there a club still
No,
there?
No, there's nothing
Is-
there.
no,
There's a pub
correct
that's
me.
closed.
Is it was it along the main street on the right hand?
Right hand side, that's
Yeah.
right. It's where the bus stop is now.
Yeah, was that?
That was
right,
the
yeah.
original
Aye,
Kiddie Swing Park as well.
that's right.
Aye,
That's
aye.
right. Anyway, we've done it to death. Thank you very much for coming. And for those that are waiting behind to see me about not bringing something, we won't keep you long.